Yo, check it. You see this? This right here is what we call Paleo-Hebrew. This is the holy language. So let's just say, if you using the name Jesus, you still sleep. If you still using the name Joshua, Joseph, or Joseph, you still have sleep. You're not woke. The correct language is Paleo-Hebrew. Okay? And the correct pronunciation of Christ's name is Yahweh-Shai. Say it with me now. Yahweh-Shai. And for the Most High, his name is not Yahweh. It's not Elohim or none of that. It's Yahweh. Yahweh. Get it correct.
Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merkakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And this video I stumbled across actually on Instagram, but it's a video from TikTok. A brother had posted it on his story, but what this video is a representation of is, prophecy being fulfilled of the Israelites waking up in the latter days before the Lord's return. Because, now you have, pretty much, if like every Jake, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, those are the Israelites today, they either know they're Israelites or they know somebody that knows they're Israelites. We're to the point where the mass awakening is in full effect, man. And it's because it's the Spirit of the Lord. The Spirit of the Lord has truly, spread throughout the four corners of the earth, man, because that's what was prophesied would happen in the last days before the Lord's return. And he's spot on, dealing with the the Paleo Hebrew, the holy language, the Lashawan Kodash. That's our language, man. That's our holy tongue. That's the language that our Lord spoke and our forefathers spoke. And we're gonna get that language in the kingdom when the Lord, delivers the elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. And he's also on point with the names. The son's name, who they call Jesus Christ, is Yahweh Shai. And the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, meaning he is to be, and Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the deliverer, the anointed. So, he's spot on with that, man. And it just goes to show you that Jake is waking up, man. And he doesn't look like, a prophet, so to speak, but not everybody's a prophet in the truth. There's 2/3 of Israel that's marked for judgment. 1/3 is going to be delivered pursuant to Zechariah 13:8. And a part of that 1/3 is, yes, the 144,000 governing body of men who the Lord has ordained to be the governing body in the kingdom of heaven under Yahweh Shai. But the rest of that 1/3 is the great multitude, that's other believers, men, women, and children, who are also going to be delivered and be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. So, the fact that, our people are waking up and just believing in the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai is beautiful. And, Lord willing, he's, keeping the commandments and doing the things he's supposed to do to the best of his ability. But this is Amos 9:11, man. And we'll open up with that real quick. And then I have a couple more scriptures and then I'll close it out. Like I said, don't want to make this too long. So this is Amos 9:11. And it reads, "In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins and will build it as in the days of old." And the tabernacle of David is the elect. The 1/3 of the nation of Israel, that's ordained to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah and the 17th chapter, because what most of these people don't get, or they don't want to acknowledge, like these Christians and, the scoffers and scorners, whatever, whatever you want to call them, unbelievers. The Israelites fell away from their heritage. We lost who we were in the last captivity that we would be in before Yahushua's return. We would forget who we were. It would be the only captivity that where the Lord would, take away our whole identity from us. Because in other captivities prior, we knew we were Israelites. Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, Egyptian captivity, so on and so forth. We all, the Israelites knew they were Israelites. We knew who we were. And in this American captivity, this is the only time and the only generation where the Israelites don't know who they are. But the Lord is going to wake us up, wake a remnant up, out of this darkness, and ultimately deliver 1/3 of the nation of Israel and destroy Babylon the Great as wicked infrastructure in the process. So that's what you see happening. And this is what these Edomites, the so-called white people, these small hats, the JOOs, the imposters, this is what they're scared of, because ultimately the spirit of the Lord is exposing them. It's breaking down their strongholds, their lies. And they know, the elites know the end game of prophecy, man. They know that they lose and they're going into captivity. So they're scared, they're terrified of Jake waking up. This is what they don't want to see, a brother like this, an Israelite, talking about the names of Yahweh, Yahushua. They want to see Jake, rapping about violence and adultery, the woman, being hoes, and endorsing, endorsing just being pretty much prostitutes and, just not being women, man, pretty much. You don't even know what to call these people, man. These women are, and these men too, our people are just degenerates. Yeah, that's a good word, just they want to see Jake promoting degenerate behavior, because what this truth is doing is bringing our people together in a righteous standard and how we're supposed to be. And it's not going to be perfect on this side, but, this is where we're rehearsing the righteous acts, Judges 5:11. And the Lord is rising our nation back up. So this is the first fruits. What you're seeing is the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. Is the nation of Israel rise up and turn back to who we are. That's where it starts. And to get a precept on that, we'll go to the book of Baruch, the 2nd chapter, and start at the 29th verse. And it reads, so Baruch 2:29, and it reads, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. So we were scattered amongst all the nations. The so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans were scattered amongst all the nations, due to the curses in Deuteronomy 28. And that's how you get Israelite foreigners, which are Israelites who may look like the other nations, the heathen nations, but their lineage goes back to that of an Israelite. So, you have like these Chinese people that can break dance and, that be rapping, singing all kind of stuff. They got that swag and stuff like Jake. That's because more than likely they are Jake. You can't fake Jake, to be honest. It's just, we are who we are. We have that salt. Scripture say we're the salt of the earth. Right? And that goes for any other nation. That's just an example. But the bulk of us, still pretty much look like, the typical features of the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. But we were scattered, right? So verse 30, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And this is happening as we speak. And the only captivity where we would have to remember ourselves was the last captivity before the Lord's return, which is this American captivity under these Edomites. In the land that we know that our forefathers knew not, the North country, the Western world. And Jake is, everywhere, but the bulk of us are in the Northwestern hemisphere. in the Americas, North, Central, and South America, and in the islands, which Esau has a rulership over and control over all those places. But it said we're gonna remember ourselves, man, and this is what's happening. You see, started with Judah, and the other tribes followed. Now you have the Northern Kingdom brothers waking up. You have sisters waking up. Men that are not prophets waking up, women waking up, even children waking up. And then you have, of course, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. The prophets have been out there for decades. Camps have been growing and growing. There's camps all over the world prophesying the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and the downfall of Esau Edom's beast system. And the truth resides, 100% truth resides at Great Millstone, man, whether these people want to believe it or not. That's the raw, uncut truth, and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is with Great Millstone. And we believe that through the spirit because, the prophecies of the prophets just fit. But nonetheless, it's all over the world, man. There's GMS camps all over the world prophesying the same things. And you see that if you're in the know, you're in the truth, you see the mass awakening, man. It's beautiful to see. Even if you're not, you can see it. And this Kyrie and Kanye thing, they amplified it to another level, brought in a whole bunch of pretty much new Israelites, new believers that woke up to the fact that they're Israelites. Whether they're sincere or not is up to the Lord. But let's read on. Verse 31, it reads, and shall know that I am the Lord their God. Their God. And again, that's another point. The Lord is only dealing with the nation of Israel. See, Jesus Christ is not, the philosophy of Christianity, is not biblical. The doctrine of Christianity is not biblical. Yahweh Shai is only dealing with the nation of Israel. He's coming back for the nation of Israel and only the elect of the nation of Israel, not for everybody. Right, so let's read that again. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, and for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. Right, we now learn the names. As the brother in the video was talking about, the names of the Lord is Yahweh, and the son's name is Yahweh Shai. So we now know the names of our power. This is pretty much the gateway back to, where we belong, man. Back to the, obedience and the guidance of our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And this is our heritage, man, that we're learning and we're coming back to. And the names is the main factor of going back to who we are. And again, this guy looks like, he looks like a regular Jake. And, there's a lot of Jake that just believe. And there's going to be a lot of Jake that just believe. As I said earlier, the great multitude, and that are just walking in the ways of the Lord, following the commandments to the best of their ability, stop eating abominable foods like pork, stop getting lineups and getting tattoos, committing adultery, watching the brothers and learning and so on and so forth, man. Whatever, that individual's lot may be. But again, the Lord is just, he's rising up the nation of Israel, man, starting with this remnant, pursuant to Isaiah, the 10th chapter. That it says, Israel shall be the sand of the sea, but a remnant shall return to the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. Right, and this is exactly what you see happening. This is biblical prophecy being fulfilled. And this is what these devils are scared of. But it's going to happen regardless. So this is Baruch 2:34 now, and it reads, and I will, Salakia 33, 2:33, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sin before the Lord, so our heritage. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. So that the promise that was given unto Abraham is the promise the Lord is going to fulfill, with the second covenant, man. When the Lord comes back to deliver us, gives us those new bodies, pursuing Isaiah, the 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, around the 50th verse. The Lord's going to make the elect immortals. All the nation of Israel is going to be immortals in the kingdom of heaven, with perfect bodies, with the covenant, within us. We're going to be perfect righteous beings, man. That's just how we're going to be. The whole nation, men, women, and children, and we're in their respective order, but that's how it's going to be. And rulership over, all these heathen nations, and the fatness of the earth, of course, and many more things that we can't even fathom. All our heart's desires, man, and so on and so forth. So this is what we have coming, and that's why it's so beautiful to see us waking up, in these last days. And this is how we're really in the last days. This is another indicator. Verse 35, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. And that's the second covenant dealing or pursuing Hebrews, the 8th chapter, around the 10th verse, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's Hebrews, the 8th chapter, as well as Jeremiah the 31st chapter, right? So let's get a couple more precepts and then close it out. Matter of fact, I'm just going to end it there because, the point is made, and I don't want to, there's many more scriptures we can go into, but I don't want to beat a dead horse. I just wanted to, keep it simple through the spirit. Don't want to make it too long. So I'm going to play the video again and then close it out. And before that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.
Yo, check it. You see this? This right here is what we call Paleo-Hebrew. This is the holy language. So let's just say, if you're using the name Jesus, you still sleep. If you still using the name Joshua, Joseph, or Joseph, you still have sleep. You're not woke. The correct language is Paleo-Hebrew, okay? And the correct pronunciation of Christ's name is Yahweh Shai. Say it with me now. Yahweh Shai. And for the Most High, his name is not Yahweh, it's not Elohim or none of that. It's Yahweh. Yahweh. Get it correct.